What's going on here, Charlie?
Well, the Met Connected is the profile we've just seen. This is one of the outreach teams that the Met Police has to improve representation and recruitment from communities that are typically not as representative as the Met Police wants them to be in the force. As you'll remember, a year ago today, the Casey Review was released saying that the Met was institutionally racist, sexist, homophobic. And since then, the Met has been through quite an extensive struggle session to not agree with that analysis. But at the same time, we've uncovered that its outreach teams, its diversity hiring processes are in effect agreeing with that analysis. We've also seen some footage on Met Connected of people wearing VR goggles, virtual reality, to see life as a black female police officer, where they talk about the systemic and institutional and unconscious bias that they witness. So in a way, the outreach team is using the language of the Casey Review that the Met Police is trying to avoid.
And this unconscious bias they witness, is this amongst their colleagues?
That's the claim, which goes even further into saying that the Met Police has an internal and systemic problem. And that is some of the language and the captioning that we're seeing on these Met Connected videos. We haven't got the clip, but other parts of footage that you can see on the website, on the GB News website, includes footage of another black police officer saying that he doesn't want to invalidate people who abuse him in the streets because of the Met's past. He says that he understands it and doesn't want to oppose that situation. Now, I've spoken to critics of this, as you can imagine, there are quite a few. Alka Segal Cuthbert from Don't Divide Us, that campaign group, saying that this was embarrassing and had a whiff of desperation, essentially saying that while it's important to have outreach and to try and include people as much as possible for that recruitment stage, you might not do that if you're telling people black colleagues have to work so much harder to be heard, recognised and progress.
But it will be true, surely. It's true that black women will have to work twice as hard in that environment to be taken seriously.
Well, the Met didn't respond to that claim in particular. They did give us a statement saying that the Met has never been as diverse as it is now.
Which is true.
Which is definitely true, and their recruitment outreach has been successful. They have at least a dozen of these outreach teams dotted across London. They used to have one per borough, one for every 32, but that's gone down in recent times from a decade ago. But they are very keen on this outreach programme and do seem to want to defend it to the highest level.
Is this revelation, Charlie, that you've made going to encourage more black men and women to want to join the Met?
Well, here's the question. I mean, if their recruitment is at the highest level, is that because the offer of the job is great, or is it because of this outreach footage in many ways agreeing with some of the negative stereotypes typically associated with the Met, that it is a racist force, that if you're a woman, you're going to struggle more, if you're a black woman, you're going to struggle even more? What's causing that problem, and how are they achieving better levels of recruitment from minorities despite this messaging they're putting out?
I suppose if I was a black woman wanting to apply for the police and I saw a workshop like that where colleagues had VR headsets on to become aware of their own internal racism, bias, whatever you want to call it, I think I'd find that quite reassuring. They're going to understand that I might need or that I might feel a little undervalued in that environment.
But to use the term systemic is the controversy there, because that ties into the Casey report's language about it being an institutional issue. And let's not forget, this is about recruitment. This is outreach. So is it very good for an employer to tell potential employees, because of your identity, you're going to have to work so much harder than others?
They say they're more diverse. How much more diverse is the Metropolitan Police? What is the percentage now of non-white officers?
Well, the stats change every day, day in, day out. They can't keep a latest figure on it, but I'll have the latest figures later today from the press office. They have them up to the end of February, but I think it's not as representative as they want it to be.
No, a lot of